leave our mark behind. We could each take home a few pounds of personal items, and then we rode back to a landing under the parachutes 2 days before Thanksgiving in 2011. I'm going to jump straight to the video, and I think we're doing okay on time. I want to leave time for you to ask questions, though, too. So it was, again, 2.5 years of training. We're finally in Kazakhstan, where the launch complex is located, and we suit up, report into the big Russian space boss, and 3 hours later, we're taking off. We're lighting up the night sky with 20 liquid-fueled engines. It's tight in there. This is me tucked in one corner, giving a scout salute. Actually, that's me. You're literally hip to hip and elbow to elbow while you're in the spacecraft there. It was about a 9-minute ride to orbit. We could get out of those seats, but here we are docking 2 days later. They've perfected this docking since then, and so a lot of times we dock in 6 hours or sometimes even less. So after checking out all of the hatch seals and stuff, we came barreling across to join our buddies that were waiting for us up there. We did a conference with our families. They were in Moscow by that time. And then it's time to get to work on all those 200 different scientific experiments we were working on, minus 80 freezer to freeze biological samples. But a lot of what we did during the first 5 weeks really was getting ready for this. Look out that window. That is the last space shuttle coming up to dock to the space station. The end of a 30-year program, and we were there for it. While they were there, my buddy Ron and I suited up for our 4th spacewalk together, working outside, looking in the back window of the space shuttle Atlantis, and it was great to get the job done, get inside safely. And frankly, it got kind of quiet. When that space shuttle went home, we knew that was the end of a program. But we're monitoring our health, taking different body measurements, drawing blood from each other up there as part of the science. We enjoyed meal times together with a mixture of American foods, Japanese foods, and Russian foods. We even had the first humanoid robot in space. He's the one on the left. That's how you exercise, with a harness and bungees to hold you down to the treadmill, and no showers, soapy water and a washcloth, and no beds. Sleeping bag on the wall. Sometimes messy stuff. In addition to the experiments, we also had to keep the space station running, the water purification systems, air purification systems, and all those kind of things. We had to keep those all working well too. This is what happens when you're reboosting the station. We are going at a constant speed, but the station was speeding up. So from the inside, it looks like we're falling back. Now, Satoshi liked to play baseball as a kid, and he got bored. He got so good, he figured out he could pitch the ball and beat it to the batter's box. That was awesome. He could even field his own hits. Got to show it to us, Satoshi. Yeah. We talk about floating in space, but you're really not floating in space, you're flying. You grab along the edge of things and throw yourself along and try not to hit anything expensive. If you squirt a little water out, simple surface tension will pearl it into a sphere. I love flying through the station. It's big. It's about the size of 12 school buses or the internal volume of a 747 airliner. It was just amazing to do that. And here's how I got that low light photography with a light, kind of a light shelter around the lens. This is individual photos. We're not moving that fast. This is individual photos taken about 1 second apart that capture the aurora or the lights of Japan with the squid fishing fleet offshore. That it made it so we could make a video like that. Well, Dan and his guys were delayed by our Russian rocket problem. So by the time they got there, we had 4 days to hand over a $130 billion space station. And, we got it done. We could bring a few pounds of personal items home, enter our spacecraft, back away from the station, and then we separated. We did a deorbit burn. And what you see here is parts of our ship that are burning up. We're not burning up. We're a little dot right in the middle, protected by our heat shield. And then we landed in the pre-dawn. It was a car crash, with a bounce and a drag, and then finally it stopped. And this is what it looks like to get about 190 pounds of dead weight out of the spaceship. I was so afraid they were going to drop me on my head. But they put you in this chair and piling on the blankets. Guys, we weren't afraid of getting cold. We had just ridden home in a meteor. That's our spaceship. See it all scorched up? So it was just an amazing thing. They had a helicopter ride to do the official funny hat ceremony with the Kazakh representatives. And then 24 hours later, the NASA airplane was landing at Ellington Field with Satoshi and me there in time to join our families for just in time for Thanksgiving. What do you think? That looked like a great adventure? And I'll tell you the truth, all the way through, I was living the dream. Now, I think I got
awesome to me, Mike.
That looks so fun.
Yeah, who wants to go?
Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is I have some questions in the chat for you, Mike. I'm just going to read them on out.
Yeah.
Keep putting your questions in the chat. I see them all coming in. So we're going to start with kind of a big one, which is what advice do you have for people who want to be astronauts?
Oh, believe. You know, it wasn't until later that somebody that I really respected told me that they believed in me.